Hey guys, Bronson here with Performance Transport. The purpose of this video is not to create too much of a gripe, but to communicate that we are having some issues with billing, and I want to discuss that. I just got a report on my desk that we have 48 different issues last week that are causing delays in billing, and I just want to talk a little bit about what that actually means to us. The effects are more significant than what most people might understand. I don't believe that it's any driver's intent to stress our staff or to hurt us or to really cause any problems with billing. But when paperwork is turned in late, it does cause problems. So that's what I want to do right now, is discuss that a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the paperwork recovery process when we find out something is late. Right when we get in paperwork or we go through, everything's turned in, we get it ready to bill, we have to go back and see, okay, what's not there. Once we discover that there's paperwork missing, all right, we have to enter that into a separate spreadsheet. All right, it's a late paperwork report would be the best way to describe it. The driver is then emailed and called, okay? Then whoever's managing this little problem, which it takes staff to do that, they have to watch the new emails coming in to see if the paperwork is being turned in after the emails and the calls. Sometimes that goes on for weeks, that somebody's actually having to pay attention to that point. The other thing is we talk about the late paperwork we have a meeting every morning at 10 a.m. Here in Shreveport to discuss different problems, to discuss successes, to discuss upcoming work, new accounts, all that, so that we're all on the same page. We have to talk about this because it's important. So every day we talk about it. And then that process is continued daily until the paperwork is turned in. Just to get everybody familiar with what happens here when there's late paperwork. Now, obviously, I won't say obviously because I don't think anything is intentional here, but we experience harm as a company because of late paperwork, and I want to describe that because I don't think anybody really understands that. Overall service to the customer suffers when billing is late. Okay, when billing is late, they're monitoring it. They're saying, okay, yeah, y'all have 100 late invoices that have gone. We have 4 days to get this done, or we're late with the customer. And they're saying, okay, you got 100 this week. You have 200 this week. They're going, what's wrong with performance? They can't get their paperwork in. They can't manage their drivers, or they just don't care. They don't really know the story. But they're saying, our service is lacking with billing. The billing department becomes stressed. The biggest thing that stresses our billing department is late paperwork because it causes so many more problems, and it could be 10 or 20 times more time to process late paperwork than something that is streamlined and turned in on time. I'm stressed because billing is important. All of our managers are stressed when billing is late because our customer is stressed, and that's hard for us. Drivers don't get paid on time. We get calls all the time, and then sometimes it's our fault, when that happens. But truthfully, when we're sitting here, screwing around with late paperwork and creating all this extra work, we're going to miss things too. It's going to increase our errors. Okay, so that happens some. We don't get paid on time. So the drivers don't get paid on time at times. And then performance. Every time a driver doesn't get paid on time, I don't get paid on time. We don't get paid on time. The customer doesn't get paid on time because they take our work and bill their customer. And then their customer's looking at them, a Schlumberger, for example, and say, why can't you bill on time? What's going on with you, right? And yet they don't have any control over it. We have staffing issues. Right now we're growing. And so one thing that I do is try to determine, okay, so how many more billing people do we need? Do we need one or two? Or maybe, well, I don't know, because we have one extra person that just solves problems, that tracks down late paperwork, and that's unnecessary. So it's hard to discover how to grow responsibly with staffing, how to train responsibly when paperwork is late. And then, A lot of times, especially for the last couple of months, our billing staff has been working late. They've been working on the weekends, not because they like to, because it becomes urgent. It becomes an emergency when we get, there's been times we've been 2 and 3 weeks late with paperwork because we can't recover it fast enough. We should be able to bill these loads every single day if everybody is turning the paperwork in the way that they're supposed to. Right now, it's taken us a week to gather everything up and manage it and get it ready. And then we bill everything we have. And most of the time, we don't even have everything at that point. Everything would be so much better if we could bill every day and we didn't have these problems. And we need to get this figured out. Like I said, I'm not griping at the service of my drivers and subcontractors. I mean, you guys are doing an awesome job. You're doing everything safely. Y'all are the reason we're growing right now. We're able to pick up more work, but this is something that we really need. We really need a little bit of time spent here, whether it's learning how to more efficiently turn in paperwork, or whether it's a little bit of discipline. Most drivers, are just, when they're at the well site, they just scan it in and turn it in right there. I understand that there are at times service issues that don't allow for that. But when you get into town, you can scan in your paperwork and turn it in. And what this does is that, I spend a lot of time picking up new accounts. We just picked up 2 new accounts, and a third one is about to hit here in the next 30 to 60 days. We've got, BJ Services that is starting here in a couple days in North Dakota. We have TSS that is starting down south. It becomes harder and harder to pick up work when there's billing issues and paperwork issues. If it's an issue for me, it's an issue for them, our customers. If it's an issue for them, it's an issue for their customers. At that point, we become risky if we don't make this work. So I just need everybody to work with me. What we're going to start doing is just making a phone call. If it's not in within 24 hours, our controller is going to call. If it's not in within 48 hours, either me or Frank is going to call. And we're not calling to gripe at anybody. You're not going to hear that unless this is excessive. But we do want to know, okay, why isn't it being turned in? Like, how can we help you? A lot of times it may be training. Maybe we've fallen short there. I know we found an error in one of the videos the other day. Okay, so that's going to be the nature of the calls. But ultimately, we want to be the best at billing. We want to get this thing done fast, and we want to be, the best at what we do, and billing is a big part of it. So we just want to reach out and communicate, let you know where we're at. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this kind of communication. If I can show y'all here, I've set up a little media department in my office. There's a little camera there, there's some lighting, there's a table there. I also do some podcasting there, but we're also going to integrate some video tutorials, communication. Y'all are going to be able to look at our staff, look into our eyes, see what we're doing. We're going to introduce everybody that comes on board that works for us. And I'm really excited about this department. We're really looking for ways to connect with drivers more often and really just kind of feel that team and that support atmosphere and also the relationship. So I'll be in touch. Thank you.